Lauren sat in her quiet Salt Lake City home, reviewing her retirement budget when the monitor suddenly glitched without warning. Blinding neon lights flashed across the screen, displaying an anonymous message claiming her private data was on a dark web registry. The text demanded an immediate transfer to prevent public exposure, urging her to act before it was too late. Fear spiked for a brief second, but she noticed the browser back button looping endlessly to the same page. Clicking the link, she took a deep breath and stepped away from the glowing trap. The screen waited in the dark, but she knew the real test was just beginning. Lauren sat in her dimly lit home office in Salt Lake City, carefully reviewing her retirement budget on a crisp printed spreadsheet. The quiet evening felt perfectly peaceful, until the browser suddenly glitched without any warning. Blinding neon lights flashed across the monitor, casting harsh, unnatural shadows on the wooden desk. An anonymous message filled the screen in jagged, glowing letters. The text claimed her private information was listed on a dark web registry, demanding an immediate cryptocurrency transfer to prevent public exposure. The urgent red text urged her to click a link right away to secure her accounts. A brief spike of fear hit her chest, tightening her breathing for just a moment. She remembered her past online oversharing and felt a sudden wave of sweet regret. But then she paused and forced her shoulders to relax. She noticed the browser back button seemed stuck, looping endlessly to the same threatening page. The digital trap was clearly trying to force a rushed, panicked decision. Lauren took a deep, steady breath, filling her lungs with the cool, quiet air of the room. She reached out and touched the solid grain of her wooden desk, grounding herself in physical reality. The wood was cool and real, a stark contrast to the frantic digital demands. She traced the familiar scratches on the surface, remembering the years of quiet evenings spent in this very room. "They want me to rush," she whispered to the empty room. From the hallway, her supportive neighbor Jeremy called out, "Everything all right in there, Lauren?" Lauren kept her eyes firmly on the physical desk, refusing to look at the glowing screen. "I will not click," she replied calmly. "Just a routine check, Jeremy. I am completely fine." She closed her eyes, listening to the quiet house and the distant hum of the refrigerator. The house was completely silent, save for the ticking of the hallway clock, marking the steady passage of time. Jeremy was right. She just needed to walk away and call the bank tomorrow using a printed number from her monthly statement. The screen flashed urgent red text again, but Lauren simply reached for the physical power button on her monitor. The bright neon glare faded into darkness, yet the looping back button remained visible in the dark reflection of the glass, waiting silently for her next move. She stood up slowly, feeling the solid floor beneath her feet, and walked out of the office, closing the door firmly behind her. The physical barrier gave her a sense of immediate relief. She knew the real test was just beginning, and she was ready to face it on her own terms. Morning sunlight poured through the kitchen window, washing away the harsh neon shadows of the previous night. Lauren sat at the small wooden table, holding a warm ceramic mug in both hands. The solid weight of the cup grounded her in the physical world. She took a slow, steady breath, letting the quiet morning settle deep into her bones. The memory of the flashing red text and the endless digital loop faded against the quiet, steady hum of the morning refrigerator. The dark web threat felt distant now, like a foolish bad dream that lost its power in the bright daylight. She set the mug down gently and reached into her canvas tote bag resting on the chair beside her. She pulled out her most recent printed bank statement. Her fingers traced the official bank logo printed on the thick, crisp paper. "Real paper, real numbers," she whispered to the empty room. The sweet regret of her past online oversharing finally melted away, replaced by a steady, quiet empowerment. She did not need to search the internet for answers. She did not need to click any suspicious links or rush into a panic. She simply looked at the bottom of the page and found the official customer service number printed in clear, dark ink. She understood now that her strength lay not in fighting the digital myth, but in ignoring it completely. The scammers wanted her to feel isolated and rushed. They wanted her to believe the glowing screen was her only reality. But Lauren knew better. She stood up and walked over to the kitchen counter, picking up her simple landline phone. The dial tone hummed a steady, reassuring note, a stark contrast to the chaotic glitching of the night before. The warm rays touched her hands, reminding her of the simple, reliable things in her life. She looked at the printed number one last time, verifying the digits with a careful, deliberate gaze. With the official number in hand, Lauren began to dial, ready to protect her life savings and reclaim her peace. The phone rang twice before a pleasant automated greeting answered, guiding her through the initial security prompts. She pressed the required buttons with steady fingers, feeling entirely in control of her own security and her future. She listened to the gentle clicking of the keypad, a comforting rhythm that replaced the chaotic flashing lights of the previous evening. Every step she took was deliberate, anchoring her firmly in the present moment. The morning air felt lighter, and the kitchen seemed brighter than it had in years. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for the simple, tangible objects that surrounded her, each one a reminder of her independence.
Lauren held the curved plastic of the landline receiver firmly against her ear, listening to the rhythmic, reassuring hum of the ringing tone. The morning sunlight warmed her shoulders, casting a gentle golden glow across the faded kitchen tiles. She could feel the subtle vibration of the dial tone fading into the steady ringing. But behind her, the laptop screen suddenly flared to life without any warning. Blinding neon lights sliced through the quiet kitchen, casting long, harsh shadows across the wooden floor. The digital trap was waking up again, desperate to reclaim her attention. She could see the reflection of the glitching monitor in the dark glass of the window pane above the sink. The browser back button was looping to the same threatening page, a repetitive trick trying to break her focus. The screen flashed urgent red text, demanding she look, demanding she hang up and click. Her finger tightened around the curved plastic of the phone. She felt the heavy, comforting weight of her independence. This was her life, her savings, her peace. She would not let a glowing myth steal it. From the hallway, the floorboards creaked under familiar footsteps. Jeremy's voice drifted into the room, gentle and concerned. "Everything all right in there, Lauren?" he called out. Lauren took a slow, deep breath, keeping her eyes firmly fixed on the crisp, printed bank statement in her hand. The paper was real. The numbers were real. She traced the edge of the thick paper with her thumb, feeling the rough texture of the printed ink. "I am completely fine, Jeremy," she replied, her voice steady and completely unbothered by the flashing lights behind her. "Just making a routine call to the bank." The phone line clicked. A calm, professional voice answered on the other end, asking for her account number. Lauren smiled, a quiet, unshakable confidence settling into her bones. The neon glare pulsed wildly in the reflection, a silent, frantic plea for her attention. It was a manufactured urgency, designed to make her feel small and isolated. But her voice remained steady as she began to speak her verification details, leaving the digital panic trapped behind her. The screen flashed one last time, casting a brief, angry glow over the kitchen cabinets, but she did not turn around. She simply took another breath, anchored by the physical weight of the paper and the steady voice on the line. The refrigerator hummed its steady, familiar tune in the background, a comforting reminder of the ordinary morning. She focused entirely on the calm cadence of the bank representative, letting the professional tone wash away the lingering tension in her shoulders.
Lauren kept the curved plastic of the landline receiver pressed firmly against her ear, listening to the rhythmic, reassuring hum of the connection. The bank representative's calm, professional voice anchored her to the physical world, a stark contrast to the chaotic digital noise. Behind her, the laptop screen flared one last time. Blinding neon lights pulsed wildly, casting long, harsh shadows across the wooden floor. The browser back button looped to the same threatening page, a desperate, repetitive trick demanding her immediate attention. The digital trap was trying to break her focus, trying to force a rushed mistake. Lauren did not flinch. She did not turn around. She simply reached over and firmly closed the laptop lid. The physical click of the latch echoed sharply in the quiet room. Instantly, the harsh neon glare vanished, swallowed by the warm, steady morning sunlight reclaiming the kitchen. The solid weight of the closed device grounded her. "Your primary funds are completely secure, Lauren," the bank agent said through the receiver, the words washing over her like a cool breeze. "However, the system is flagging a secondary authorization request from an unrecognized device. We need to trace that origin and verify your secondary contacts before we can fully clear your profile." Lauren smiled, a quiet, unshakable confidence settling into her bones. Her breathing remained steady and unbothered. The glowing myth was silenced, but the quiet battle was not entirely over. The scammers had left a digital footprint, and she needed to help the bank erase it. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice calm and completely grounded. "I am completely fine now, and I am ready for the next step." She held the phone tight, feeling the solid reality of the plastic against her skin. She waited for the agent to guide her through the final verification, knowing the true test of her independence was just beginning. The morning air felt lighter, and the kitchen seemed brighter than it had in years. She felt a profound sense of gratitude for the simple, tangible objects that surrounded her, each one a reminder of her independence.
Lauren listened to the final, reassuring words of the bank representative. The agent confirmed that the unrecognized device had been completely blocked and the secondary contacts were fully verified. The strange digital footprint was erased from the system entirely. "Thanks for the help," Lauren said, her voice steady and warm. "The assistance today was very much appreciated." She gently placed the curved plastic receiver back onto the base. The soft click signaled the end of the call. The kitchen was completely silent now, save for the gentle, rhythmic hum of the refrigerator. The harsh neon glare was gone forever, replaced entirely by the golden morning sunlight pouring through the window pane. Lauren took a deep, steady breath, letting the quiet morning settle deep into her bones. The lingering tension in her shoulders finally dissolved into the warm air. She walked over to the stove and filled the simple metal kettle with cold water. The physical weight of the kettle grounded her firmly in the real world. She set it on the burner and turned the dial. The quiet hiss of the heating element began, a comforting and familiar sound. She leaned against the wooden counter, feeling the solid grain beneath her fingertips. She traced the edge of the counter, feeling the familiar grooves worn into the wood by years of daily use. Every scratch and stain told a story of quiet mornings and shared meals, a stark contrast to the cold, anonymous threat that had tried to invade her space just hours ago. The sunlight shifted across the faded linoleum floor, highlighting the dust motes dancing in the air. She watched them drift lazily, feeling a profound sense of connection to the simple, ordinary world around her. The digital realm had tried to pull her into a spiral of manufactured fear, but the physical world remained steadfast and real. She reached out and touched the smooth surface of the kitchen table, grounding herself once more in the tangible reality of her home. The canvas tote bag still rested on the chair, the printed bank statement peeking out from the top. It was a simple piece of paper, yet it represented her autonomy and her careful planning. She had protected it, and in doing so, she had protected her peace of mind. She thought about the neighbor, Jeremy, who had checked on her earlier. His simple, grounded concern had been a quiet anchor during the initial shock. She would see him later, perhaps share a brief conversation over the fence, and the day would return to its normal, predictable rhythm. The threat had tried to isolate her, to make her feel alone in a vast, uncaring digital void. But the physical world was full of connections, of familiar faces and solid objects that kept her tethered to reality. She took another slow sip of the warm tea, savoring the subtle, earthy flavor. The liquid warmed her from the inside, chasing away the last lingering chill of the morning's ordeal. The dark web threat was nothing more than a foolish myth, a manufactured panic that had lost all its power the moment she chose to step away from the glowing screen. She had not rushed. She had not panicked. She had simply trusted the physical reality of the printed numbers and her own calm judgment. The kettle began to whistle softly. Lauren poured the hot water into her favorite ceramic mug, watching the steam rise in the sunlit air. She wrapped both hands around the warm cup, letting the heat seep into her skin. A quiet, unshakable confidence settled deep within her chest. She was the calm, unshakable guardian of her own life, her independence fully restored. She looked out the window at the peaceful street, smiling softly to herself. The morning was entirely her own, bright, clear, and completely free of digital shadows. She took a slow sip of her tea, ready to enjoy the rest of the beautiful day.